What is up, everybody? Welcome to Hellbent Holler Live. Oh, look at this. How does it look? Look good? Dang.
Pretty freaking good.
Actually, I added a little bit of purple to our set. I kind of like it. I think it looks pretty good.
Damn.
Welcome to Hellbent Holler Live, everybody. Hellbent Live. We have had a whirlwind of past few days. We are so excited to be here. All in one piece for the most part.
Mostly
in one piece. We are so excited to be here with you guys. We had a wild and crazy weekend. We're going to get into that very shortly. My name is Jesse Doyle. I am the founder, supreme emperor, and sometimes director of Hellbent Holler. This is my very loose associate, Mr. Joseph Doyle.
Tip of the hat to you.
Doctor of Cinematography. And you see we have our titles down here. But of course, we also, thanks to our buddy at Surviving the Strange, Steven, we also have these guys.
They won't show up on the camera.
They won't?
Not from where we're at. When we have them on the table, you can't see them. But you will eventually when we get a new podcast.
When we get the new set, they're going to be part of the new set. So that will all be a part of that. We had a ton of cool gifts over the weekend because we're at the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference. We spoke at 11 a.m. and then it was just banana town after that.
It was freaking wild. We're exhausted tonight.
We are.
If we don't have our usual vim and vigor tonight, you will know why.
I'm all vim and vigor.
We got back yesterday, unpacked, got something to eat, got a few hours sleep, and then went back to our day jobs this morning. But the conference was crazy. Actually, we have had the craziest weekend, or craziest week of just blatant self-promotion.
Yes, we have.
We have ever had.
Yes, we have.
I'm tired of hearing about us, and I'm us. I'm part of us, but
I am us.
We've just been tooting the hell out of our own horn like all week long. We did.
And we're not done yet.
We're not done yet. Smog.
What's up, my man?
Smog has been a baller for 21 months. Smog is like one of the OGs, was one of the first handful of people that joined the membership when we launched it. Smog, we love you. We love you. We love you. We love Okie. Thank you for that, Okie, my friend. We appreciate you.
We do appreciate all of y'all. And we really, what a humbling experience.
Real quick. JD Smooth, your ears were probably burning because we were talking about you at the conference. So you were missed, my friend.
You were missed.
You were missed. It wasn't the same not having you.
So what a humbling experience for us to go to the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference. Not because we were on stage and doing anything like that. The best part about the whole thing was all of the Hellbenders that came over to our humble little tent and hung out with us and talked to us. And Joe said we're going to not toot so much, but we're going to continue to toot here.
Thank you, James. James is also a member for 21.
Thank you, sir. Our line at our little tent was comparable to Dr. Meldrum's.
Yeah, us and Jeff Meldrum we're really the only non-TV people there.
Yes, we were.
And ours and Jeff Meldrum's were like the two main like big lines, and it was hard for us to tell because we were like stuck back behind the thing, but there's several people that are in chat right now that were there that can confirm this. But we were like mobbed. It was like awesome.
It was so freaking cool. Joanna Gardner, nice to see you, Miss Joe. Appreciate everything from you, my dear. Tell David we said hello. Yeah, it was a absolute blast. It was an absolute blast. I am so thankful for everybody that came out and everybody that wanted to come out. You missed a hell of a time. However,
Miranda Crew,
our
girl, great wild run.
It's been a wild run. You do have another opportunity to come out to a conference that we will be speaking at. It'll be our last conference of the year, perhaps forever.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We love meeting people, but these are just so. We're field investigators.
Yeah. Takes a lot of time away from what you guys are here for, what we're here for.
And we want to. This has been great. Doing the documentary and doing everything like that has been so cool. Documentary launches when? August 7th?
Baby.
What?
Yeah, you're tired of hearing about this, and yet you can't get the date.
I'm just saying, whenever the date
Whenever
the hell it launches.
Okay, so August the 10th. Go ahead.
August the something.
Go ahead.
Something.
Ruin my promo. Who cares?
But we're like, we want to get back out in the woods and just do our stuff. However, this has been good timing because the heat is like freaking next level. And you can't really, even if you can kind of get out there and muscle through it, you can't use thermals right now. It's too freaking hot. The cameras will overheat. It's too freaking hot. You got to carry a bunch of water. You go through your water. You got to find water to filter. It's hard to stay hydrated. People are keeling over from like heat exhaustion left and right. So this has actually been good timing to have all this stuff, but we're really itching to kind of just get back into the groove, man.
For sure.
We want to get back into the groove, man.
I was editing all day today, so I am working away on a new release for everybody. Bristol, remember for 21 months.
Bristol was at the conference as well.
Hellbent Holler, the MVPs of Gatlinburg.
And Bristol, pretty much what you would expect him to be like. He met my expectations. His online persona matched what you met in real life.
And he also did not show up as a traitor. He
did not. He was wearing a Hellbent Holler shirt. Good man.
He showed up as he knew where his loyalties lie, you know?
Yes, indeed. Gosh, you guys are coming at us. West Virginia Bigfoot Project.
What's up, guys? Thank you
guys so much. Thank you so much. And then Curtis Whitaker.
Curtis don't hurt us.
Curtis not to be outdone by West Virginia. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. But we had a ball at the conference, man. But here's the thing is that the doing these conferences you get to meet people, and that's our big thing. We don't really hobnob with like the celebrities. We're there to meet and I'm not even just saying that. It's just that the coolest people there, we would meet people throughout the day, and I would go, forget Bigfoot. I want to talk. What do you do again? You know what I'm saying? We met the coolest freaking people there, man. The coolest people there. But I kind of blasted through that. Curtis Whitaker, thank you so much as always. West Virginia Bigfoot Project.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Wonderful people.
So I've got one here from the Gruesome Twosome. That's a good name for us as well, you know. A lot of gruesome twosomes around. What dates are the conference? Our next conference and possibly our last is the Tennessee Wild Man Conference. That is going to be on August the 16th.
That's a lot of speakers, man.
It's a lot of people.
What are we speaking for, like 10 minutes?
I hope so.
That'd be awesome.
Then we just hang out and chill with
Pack
folks.
a lot in 10 minutes, man. So.
Yes, sir. So that's going to be August.
I don't even know who else here.
Stop interrupting my plug.
Sorry.
I know. August, just let me get it out and then you can babble. August the 16th at McMinnville, Tennessee at the McMinnville Rec Center.
Climate controlled.
As
Randy, the presenter, keeps saying, and the advertisements for it, the climate controlled rec center.
Is that an issue?
No, because it's going to be air conditioned.
Oh, inside. It's the Milner Recreation Center.
Yeah, but it's climate controlled. It's like going to be cool inside.
Yes.
It can be hot as hell outside, but it's going to be comfortable.
Perfect.
Inside. Awesome.
There is a pool outside as well, if you feel like taking a dip. But yes, we will be at the Milner Recreation Center August the 16th for the Tennessee Wild Man and Cryptid Con. This will be our 3rd year doing it. And we always love coming out for Randy and the guys over at 40 in Tennessee. They always treat us so well, and we always have such a blast doing it.
They're good people.
This is also going to be a little more of a relaxed conference as compared to the Gatlinburg conference that we just had this weekend. It's a little smaller, and you're not
much smaller, man.
Not much smaller. It's catching up, but you're
like,
not in that pressure keg of being in Gatlinburg where you're forced to eat pizza for every meal and buy $4 bottles of water.
It like beautiful. So
yes, it is. It's very nice.
Quick things here, real quick. Ken Lucas.
Kim,
thank you so much.
Ken, you know what we said about the banner. Don't do it. Don't do it, Ken.
Don't do it, Ken.
Don't do it.
Tanya Cupcake, thank you so much. And then Nathan from the Quantum Show. We had a chance to meet him.
What's up, Nathan?
I was there, touched both of your faces.
We are real. Nathan proved we were real, and we were transported to Chattanooga for a moment during his video.
But the conference, and we're not going to talk all about the conference tonight, but the conference was pretty cool. It's cool to meet people. It's cool to talk to people. It's cool to argue with people. I pissed a couple people off that will remain nameless.
Not Nick Groff this time.
Not Nick Groff this time, no. But we did a presentation on the Southern Sasquatch, and we had some really good segments. It was pretty cool when we got up to do our presentation. The segment before us ran over. So when we got up to do it, there was no break between segments. So we immediately came up to the stage as they were leaving, and we got up there at the podium, and I look out, and I could tell like half the audience had to really go to the bathroom, like really badly. You could just tell by like looking at everybody. So we did our presentation on the Southern Sasquatch. We edited it down a little bit to give some people some time between our presentation and the next one, so they could go avail themselves of the facilities. But we did a presentation that basically talked about Bigfoot and the Southern Appalachians and how the unique qualities about it, contrasted it and compared it to the Pacific Northwest, because the Pacific Northwest, Northern California, all of that pretty much occupies the biggest slice of the public's like attention as far as Bigfoot goes. And we really kind of highlighted the fact that, the activity in the American South pretty much predates the Pacific Northwest. It's just that's where the term Bigfoot got coined. And, I'd say the theme of the presentation, you'd probably agree with me, is that in the Pacific Northwest, Bigfoot is something that people try to find. And in the South, especially the Southern Appalachians, Bigfoot is something to avoid and to fear. So we went through some of the folklore of the area and the region. We went through, my favorite thing that we go through is we have a segment on why haven't we found Bigfoot yet? And we've talked about that on the live stream before a bit. Why haven't we found Bigfoot yet? Why hasn't anybody found Bigfoot yet? And because all of us out here that have an interest in that subject, we get asked that all the time in the most annoying manner.
Where are the bones, Joe?
Y'all found them yet? And I know all y'all deal with it as well. And like I've mentioned on the show before, Bigfoot's found almost every day. Bigfoot's being discovered almost every day, but it's like personal discoveries. But as far as like that public acceptance, I can't speak for the entire world, but I can speak for our little narrow corner of it. And there's a lot of barriers to it being publicly accepted. One of those is the cultural barrier. And that's everything from like a distrust of authority that is pretty much ingrained in this area, a distrust of outsiders in the more rural areas. And you find that pretty much all across the country. You get rural areas that just don't want outsiders there. They don't want to talk to them. But then you also get into some of the traditions, superstitions, and even religious aspects that keep people from really openly talking about the subject. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that was going to resonate with people as well as it did, but it really resonated with people very well. Anybody that was there, and of course it's Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference, a lot of people from the South, but there's people from all over the country there. but you could tell that the people that had long, deep roots in the American South really kind of like identified with what we were talking about. And it went over really well, I think. You know what I'm saying?
And it was really nice to give a presentation about Bigfoot in Appalachia that was not a surface level presentation. I think when Joe and I were working on this and we were writing this, what annoyed us the most about how Appalachia is represented in this field is that it's such a caricature. It's such a caricature of what it means to be an Appalachian, what it means to be a Southerner. And we are both from this region. I am from Western North Carolina. I am a hillbilly, but I don't bounce around and dance around in overalls and say, we call them boogers in the South.
We call them boogers in the South.
You know,
and you hear that, and it always, whenever I hear people talking like that, the word booger, obviously it's got humorous connotations, but the word booger is basically a derivative of boogeyman. And that tells you all you need to know about how Sasquatch is viewed in the American South.
And I think it's very important to have respect for yourself, have respect for your ancestors, your culture, the culture that you came from, and realize that these things are not cuddly friends that are meant to be snuggled at night. These, as I said in the show the other night, which we'll talk about that as well. But these are things to be feared. The
folklore is dark because the experiences that people had with these things were not pleasant oftentimes. And where the Pacific Northwest Sasquatch is the Jack's Link, like, you know, the Jack's Link beef jerky guy, things like that, you know, the Bigfoot walking, holding the flag, throwing up the horns, everything like that. That cartoonish Disney kind of aspect, that variation of Bigfoot, that's not what you hear the stories of in the American South. And one of the other things that we talked about is that one of the barriers to Sasquatch being effectively researched in the American South is that so many researchers they're above all of these silly little legends and stories and everything like that. And the moment that something woo related gets into it, they throw that case out. They don't want to talk to that witness.
But I think that's also this desire for some sort of authority figure to pat them on the head and tell them it's okay. Bigfoot's real. I'm an authority figure. It's that appeal to authority and that desire to be validated by somebody that they see as an authority. When how this is you need to trust the witnesses. You need to trust the folklore.
The thing is,
you don't need to trust somebody who deems themselves an authority on the subject. You need to look at the subject as a whole. You need to look at these experiences. You need to listen to these witnesses, and you need to look at the context and the folklore that this comes from.
The authorities in this case are people who are on these plots of lands for multiple generations, and they have had multiple generations interacting with these creatures, these entities, whatever they are. Shy saying, I hoped your Sunday wasn't as rough as mine. No comment, Shy. Miranda Crew, making up for missing last week. Thank you, Miranda. We greatly appreciate you. But one of the things that we talked about is that even if a researcher doesn't believe in any of the woo or any of the weirder aspects of Bigfoot, the witnesses do. And part of the reason why Bigfoot is not as well known outside of this region, you know, Southern Sasquatch is not as well known, is because the data is so fragmented. It's because people don't make reports. People don't, in this region, things happen. They just don't immediately think, I'm going to rush to the BFRO site and file a report.
JD Smooth has a good point here. And if you go into their areas, you have to have respect for the people there as well, especially in Western North Carolina and the Carolinas in general.
Yeah, and it's
that distrust of outsiders is a big.
Well, you know what? Factor. And that, guess what? That's a distrust of outsiders, and it's rightfully earned in a lot of cases.
Absolutely.
And let's just be honest. A lot of like people that are involved in the research of this subject have I'm better than you kind of aspect. They're the experts. You know, I've been studying Sasquatch for 20 years, 30 years, whatever. Well, these people have been living alongside Sasquatch for 5-6 generations. Okay. They know more about it than the people who are researching it. And they don't like to talk about it a lot of times. Sometimes they don't like to talk about it because they're afraid that talking about it will invite its attention. But anyway, we had a great, I think the presentation went really well. It was a lot more in depth, and it was a lot more focused on the region and the complexities and the intricacies of the region and Bigfoot, and it just tied it all together. I thought it went really well. I was afraid that it wasn't going to go over well because it wasn't the typical standing up there showing other people's slides and photos and talking about things that happened to other people, you know, just doing the old like Bigfoot 101 type thing. I wasn't sure I was going to be received. It was received really well, I think. Man.
Yeah, I think because a lot of presentations at these events don't really get in depth on a subject or really take a hard look at it or really just go into the nuances of it. I think that's why it resonated with so many people, because it was something new, it was something novel.
Yeah.
And
I did a really good
And you did a really good job.
I did a really good job.
I did a little bit up there. My bug was so good at it, though.
Sammy, hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Sammy. Thank you.
Thank you, Sammy.
And our buddy South Force 10 made a very quick appearance.
He was in and out.
Dropped off a little something.
He was 10 and out.
He was 10. Yeah, dropped off a little something. He was very sneaky and came in. But our buddy South Force 10, as you know, nobody ever sees his face. So you might have been right beside him and never you would
never even know. 39 Seanman said, is the presentation available on YouTube? It is not. So we were prohibited from filming anything by the event organizers. So we couldn't film our presentation at all, but we will be giving the presentation at Tennessee Wildman. And I might set it up to where I can film the presentation and then make it available. I'm going to see about that with the organizers of that event, see if they're okay with that, because it's an interesting presentation. Now, if we don't do that, we might do sort of a online presentation where I can have the slides and then maybe we can discuss it more in depth as its own show. And that might be better because we might not have the time constraints and everything that we would have during a live presentation.
And Sarge says, if you have to research something and you're still researching it after 30 years, how can you claim to know anything about it at all? We don't know. And I'm always very honest about that. And here's the thing is that, and here's what's so confusing about the Bigfoot phenomenon in this region and pretty much everywhere. The variations in it. There are certain things that repeat over and over and over and over and over again, but then there's weird variations that don't seem to make sense. And you have to realize that those variations, when you encounter people talking about them, you just can't kick it out because it doesn't match your own like little checklist that you have. But my favorite thing to say is about that is when people say, oh, I've been researching Bigfoot for 30 years. I'm like, no, you've been researching Bigfoot for a year. You've just repeated it for 30 years. You've repeated that 1 year's worth of knowledge and action and just practice for over and over and over again. There's been no growth. There's been no, hey, let's try something new. 30 years ago, you were casting footprints and banging on sticks and whooping. And now 30 years later, you're still doing the exact same.
Banging on sticks.
So,
you know, well, I talked about a presentation earlier. I think I got something on here. I was on the radio last night. We'll take a little side jaunt here.
Jesse was on the radio.
I was on the radio. Here we go. Dylan Parsons, my man here, says, Jesse, great job on Paranormal 360. Despite all the severe weather alerts, hope everyone in Minnesota is okay. So I was on Dave Schrader's show, Paranormal 360, and that is on a Minnesota radio station. And of course, you can ask our resident weatherman, Mr. Blueberry, about the tornadoes that were touching down out there during my show. So there were some severe weather alerts. If you'd like to listen to my interview with Mr. Dave Schrader, I discuss my documentary that is coming out on Small Town Monsters YouTube channel on August the 10th.
Week of self-promotion, the month of self-promotion. This is the month of our self-promotion.
Everything's coming up, Hellbent Holler. On August the 10th, it premieres on Small Town Monsters YouTube channel. That's a Sunday. I want you all there. You will all be in that chat. Promise me this. You will all be in that chat. We will be in that chat Joe and I will actually do an after show after the premiere here on our channel for the public, for everybody. Everybody is invited.
Our people, Small Town Monsters people, whether you're not even a subscriber to us, but you watch the show. It is just something that we want to kind of get together. And here's why we
for the lovers, for the haters, and for the taters. We're doing an after show after the premiere of my documentary. Speaking of taters, there.
So here's why: is because everybody's always, we want something new. We don't just want interviews. We don't just want this. We just don't want witness reports. They're cool, but people want action, man. And when Jesse did this, Jesse had.
Oh, let me finish this. Let me finish this real quick. Talking about my interview last night with Dave Schrader. If you guys, there were there were little interjections with the severe weather as I was getting to.
And you know what? I was so excited for you to be on like radio, traditional radio. And then all the weather interruptions started up. And then I was just like, man, radio.
Aren't the weather interruptions so bad? I hate interruptions. Hate them.
I know. Don't you hate when people interrupt you?
Anyway, so you can catch that replay of that without the radio interruptions. You can catch that on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast platform. It is under Paranormal 360. My interview is on there. I think it's like 36 minutes total. It's a whirlwind interview. You can tell I have time constraints because I'm trying to get those points out. But I got a lot of good lines in there. What was that? Yeah. What was your favorite line?
Dave Schrader?
Yeah.
With Dave Schrader. Dave Schrader was talking to Jesse about how does she, because Jesse goes, we don't just do the set at a campsite with 20 other people and occasionally just do the whoop and hope we hear something back. We go out into the woods on foot and we try to see if we can stir something up. And he's like, well, a lot of people look down upon that approach. And, how do you deal with people that are kind of aggressive and draw a line in the sand that you shouldn't be doing that and try to tell you how you should conduct your investigations? And Jesse goes, well, in order to you can't draw a line on the sand if you've never been to the beach. And
you've never set foot on the
beach. Set foot on the beach. And Dave Schrader spazzes out and goes, oh my Lord, I'm going to write that on my arm and get it tattooed there. So, but it is, it's pretty cool, man. Like I said, it's cool that it's happening. It's us. Well, when I say us, it's Jesse. So that's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool that more people are paying attention to Hellbent Holler. But here's the deal, though. What's important about this, beyond the fact that it's just us and it's cool that, doing these shows, is that look at our approach to this stuff. We don't want to stand there and lecture you about what Bigfoot does or does not do, and that report's fake because that's not how Bigfoot act. We don't want to talk to you about how, we are the final authority on Bigfoot and blah, 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 blah. We're talking about the fact that we're out there all the time and we do this and we've experienced this weird stuff and we don't know what the hell's going on. And when people come up to you and go, this happened to me, but it sounds weird, we go, all right, sounds about right. That's
I think I also mentioned I was kind of on a roll. I did mention also that at the point in which you can admit you know nothing is when you start to learn everything. Because you kind of have to let go of your ego. This whole thing is an ego killer. This discipline, this field of study, this is an ego killer. You think you know everything. It knocks you down. It knocks you down into the dirt and grinds you into dust.
Lady Wolf was not at the conference, unfortunately.
She was not.
She was missed.
I would love to have her at a conference.
You were talked about constantly.
You were.
Best mod of the business. People actually would come up and ask if you were there and looked around like they were going to be able to pick you out of the crowd.
Patty G said my favorite line by Jesse was the zoos don't really like us.
She did bring in the gorilla pee.
Okay, you're making a gorilla noise.
She brought in the gorilla pee in our quest for the gorilla pee into the interview. So
I was trying to throw that out there because you never know who's going to listen to that interview who might have a line on some gorilla pee and they're like, oh my God,
get a gorilla pee.
This young lady is looking for a gorilla pee.
I got a basement full of it.
I happen to have a whole Stanley Cup full of gorilla pee right here.
So, anyway, that was pretty rad. A couple things that I've started here real quick. One thing that South Force said, it's so hard to investigate in Appalachia because it's straight up and straight down. That was one of the points I brought up, is that Sasquatch encounters in the South, on average, are more aggressive than ones in a lot of the other parts of the country. Now, Oklahoma has got a lot of aggression there. Oki's in here, and he'll back that up. But the Appalachia thing, one of the things I talked about is that the terrain and then just the vegetation really shortens your line of sight. So sometimes that might play into it. Maybe Sasquatch and people just stumble across each other more frequently without realizing the other one's there until it's too late. And then there's some other reasons where I talked about how, the fact that there's a lot of private land interdispersed in some of the wilder areas.
And we certainly learned that doing our URI investigations. URI, I think, is one of the fastest growing national forests in the country. I believe
because they're adding more public land into it.
There's actually a trust that raises money to actually buy land from private landowners around the URI to expand out the national forest. The way it is it's the national forest, but then you have private landowners all interspersed kind of in the middle of some of the property too. So,
but it's in the Pacific Northwest, there's vast regions that no people live in at all because it's all public. Here, it's a mixture of public and private land. So you have people living there. So sometimes people are in more closer proximity to these things. And I think the aggression, bluff charges, vocalizations, throwing stuff, everything like that is sometimes to push the people back a little bit momentarily so that these creatures can get some space to get away. That aggression is caused by the proximity that people in Sasquatch often find themselves in, and that leads to some less than pleasant encounters sometimes.
40 in Tennessee's in here. They missed the plug. You missed the plug. We
plugged you, man.
We already plugged. The plug's done. Yeah.
Now, let's see what else we've got through here. We've got some other stuff done. Louisville Charlie asked, if you find indisputable proof of Bigfoot, would you come forward with the evidence? Yes.
Absolutely.
That's the whole goal of this. That's the whole goal of this. And quite honestly, because I don't see a downside to that.
Not at this point. I think if this was super early on in our pursuit of this, if say this was like our first 2 years of really pursuing this, and then we got something huge, I don't know. Would we have to sit on it? Because we'll be like, nobody's going to believe us at this point.
Now, we would bring it forward because here's why. A, people have a right to know what's out there. People have a right to know what's out there. People have a right to be vindicated and validated that they're not crazy, that they experienced the things that they experienced, and then they've been called crazy. And it's just, and here's the deal. Everybody's always like, oh, hunters will go out there and I don't think hunters have the ability really to go out there and hunt these things, maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see that. I think that the possible benefits would outweigh the negatives in that case. So I think we would. And our buddy Bonnie Blue McGee, a lot of folks around the world don't also realize that the Appalachians are an entity unto themselves as well. So many haunted hollers, mountain magic, granny witches. That was one of the things we talked about, is that the layers and the nuances that, like there was that TikTok craze about how spooky the Appalachians were. Remember that?
Yes.
All the fake skinwalker stuff.
Yeah, the Appalachian skinwalker. Now there was a huge like flap of TikTok feral people things going on too.
Not deer was like a big one.
Not deer was a big one.
But the thing is that's true though. And one of the things we talked about is that often a Bigfoot encounter,
I think it's just so cloaked in mystery.
Well,
too,
it's not a sighting a lot of times. It's an event. There's multiple things happened. There are multiple layers of strangeness that people experience when they run into one of these creatures. And yeah, there's the occasional sighting. Oh, I just saw it run across the road. But almost more than anywhere else in the country, do you have people that they get the full enchilada, man. They get the weird lights. They get the activity that follows them home. They get like all of this stuff. It's a multi-layered, multi-sensory, multi-phenomenal experience sometimes. And I think that
Alexander Petikoff is in the chat. Hello, Alexander.
Hello, Alexander Petikoff. What's up, buddy?
Here's his.
Yep. I was texting Alex while we were there. So let's see what else we've got here.
I've got some stuff marked.
I'm going through it. Michael Tovar, Jesse, and Joe. After researching Dogman, Sasquatch, and the paranormal, other field research that you all like to get into. Don't want to do lake monsters. Don't want to do. We're down for like weird lights in the woods. Okay, like spook lights, witch lights, orbs, whatever you want to call them. I'm not big on anything that could involve alien abduction because Fire in the Sky did a number on me when I was a kid.
Yeah,
did a number on me when I was a kid. So for me, that's why I don't like going to the beach, is because of Jaws, and I don't like alien abduction stuff because of Fire in the Sky. But I don't know, man. I mean, for me, it's just general high strangeness.
If you go down to Pascagoula, you could get both. You could get sharks and abduction.
There's actually some strange disappearances that have taken place that we want to look into, and we just need to make sure that we're doing it respectfully. And I go back and forth on that because you know what? As long as you're just presenting, and listen, here's the deal. I think that there's a possibility that something weird happened to these people.
Yeah.
That's not being sensational. That's what I honestly think. If I didn't think that there was something weird happening to these people, we wouldn't be investigating it in the first place. And the other thing too is that some of these people, and you know who I'm talking about, nobody talks about him anymore. You know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of disrespectful for his memory to die because what happened was weird, and the way that the authorities approached it was something was wrong with that.
Yeah.
And to just let that story die, to me, is like probably a bigger crime.
Definitely a rock you want to turn over eventually. Smoky Coast Studios has an interesting thing to kind of go with this, is what I'm kind of thinking of as well, is maybe us dabbling a little more into the little people or the moon-eyed people.
Moon-eyed people.
We have done a little bit with that. Of course, JD will warn us against that.
The small folk. Marcus Aurelius, limited territory, food, breeding, raising young ones makes sense to the increased Bigfoot hostility. That was the other thing I talked about too, was the fact that the proximity of it. And maybe you get into the fact that, you know, there's more food competition that takes place. We've got like a pretty big black bear population here that's actually growing pretty rapidly in a lot of areas. There's a lot of reasons that you could look towards and go, well, maybe that's what kind of like shapes the nature of some of these encounters that we hear. Because here's the deal. That's not all just internet sensationalism. The majority of the reports we get, and maybe here's the deal, maybe it's because the people that have the, you know, there's maybe some sort of like witness bias that takes place where maybe some of the people who come forward, only the ones that had traumatic ones are coming forward and the other. But I don't really think that's the case. We get a lot of like hunters getting chased out of the woods reports.
Yeah, especially in the Grove. I mean, that was a very, very common thread in the Grove. We had several reports of that. That was very, very aggressive, and it actually pursued the witnesses.
Hey, and if Sue G is on here, by the way, we were talking about you earlier. We haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. Pop in and say hey. But let's see what else we have got here. And we're just going to kind of meander. Lady Wolf talking about you. Killed you when you mentioned the gorilla pee.
I did another interview this week as well. I did one with Tim Dennis of Darkness Radio. So this was, yeah, because since we met here in the Hellbent studio, I did that interview with Tim Dennis. That's a good one too. That is also available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that. That's Darkness Radio. But I think they released the video version today, and I was testing out some of our new setup for my show that I will be doing coming up. We were testing out some of the audio video lighting setup for that. So you can take a look at a new studio experience. But I had such a blast with Tim Dennis too. But all of this is, of course, to promote the monster on Morris Mountain Bigfoot in the UREs.
Boogity.
Premiering on August the 10th on Small Town Monsters YouTube channel.
We actually Central Kentucky Bigfoot. As of 2025.
We met a guy from Central Florida.
And we were like, you need to take the mantle of Central Florida Bigfoot since he has relinquished his throne. But
He's abandoned the swamps for paint lick.
I saw you had messaged me earlier, buddy. I got to actually ask you a question. I'm going to probably shoot it to you when I get done there. And Ghetto Yeti.
Ghetto Yeti.
Ghetto, all the gang.
The gang's all here.
The gang is all here. So, yeah, and what we're going to do is that we are going to probably, for those of you who couldn't make this conference or the other conference, I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know if we'll just do like a presentation and film it, maybe do it live, or maybe just kind of go over the stuff and make it that's what we'll do, is we'll go over the presentation but make it interactive where people can ask questions in real time.
Okay. Because
that's usually what works well for us, because then we get the whole hive mind thinking about it. And then you guys end up coming up with really cool stuff that didn't occur to us. So, all right.
With your big, beautiful brains.
These big, beautiful brain people. So let's see what else we got here.
Good night, Becca. She's back to work.
Becca's getting back to work. Get back to work, slacker.
Poor Becca was getting yelled at all weekend. Every time I need something sent out to the Hellbenders, I would just go, scribe! And she would send it out.
So, all right. Let's see what else we have got here.
Eventually, we're going to have just a crazy motley crew like staff, It'll be like the A-team.
Sarge has a good thing. It's interesting how the observable phenomena changes to suit the audience. Now, here's where I'm at with that. Is it changing to suit the audience, or has the audience been shaped by the different aspects of the phenomena? Because one of the things that I really kind of like dialed in on when we were doing this presentation is how the Sasquatch phenomenon has really shaped Southern folklore. And if you start looking at a lot of these legends and these tales and whatnot that are not just like Paul Bunyan, just made up type stuff, that are actual supposed to be like true in like accounts that people have like logged in their diaries, their journals, family stories that have been passed down. And obviously there's usually a little bit of or a lot of exaggeration that takes place. But some of the first person accounts that have survived in like journals and diaries and whatnot, they're weird. And if you start to look at them, there may be family legends of witches that live in the woods next to the family farm. But when you start to look at the behavior and the physical description of the witches,
they're often described as being covered in dark black hair,
throwing rocks, banging on the house the side of the night, the side of the night, taking livestock. They're not witches, they're Bigfoot. Same thing with like devils. Almost every, I wouldn't say almost every county, I don't want to say every county, but let's just say most counties in this region have a Devil's Rock, a Devil's Gulch, a Devil's Backbone.
And more recently, Devil's Den, where that really crazy attack happened.
Yeah, so
in Arkansas.
But a lot of times, devils are basically used to describe something that it's Bigfoot. And then booger is used to describe everything. The language, again, nobody knew the word Bigfoot until the 1950s. So they're using their own terminology for this phenomenon. So if you go, well, there's no Bigfoot reports from there. Well, start looking for the devil reports, the booger reports. One of my things that I really thought was cool doing this is there's a particular aspect of Southern culture called haint blue. Haints are like malicious spirits, basically, like a haunt, a haint. And people would paint their porches,
the ceilings of their porches,
blue.
Or, it's not just the ceilings. I know that more commonly with the upper crust Charleston types, you'll see just the ceilings. But if you go to older areas and some of the areas where some of the Gullah are, you'll see that the haint blue actually lines the doors and the windows as well.
But a lot of times, so this haint blue is supposed to confuse and repel the haints spirits. But a lot of times people would paint their porches and doorways haint blue because of things that came out of the woods at night and walked around their house and banged on the sides of their houses. So, which is often reported Sasquatch behavior. So a lot of these things that come through, when you start to kind of peel back that top layer, you start to see that a lot of the folklore and superstitions are basically how people were trying to deal with the activity that was taking place around them, that quite honestly matches up perfectly with like what we would consider modern day Bigfoot activity.
Robin Ray, thank you for that. Lord willing, see you in McMinnville.
We
I
will
hope
see
that
you there.
you
We
come
will be
out
there.
to McMinnville. Thank you, Mom.
We will be there. All right. See what else we got. Everybody's talking about sea monsters, man. Y'all can do the sea monsters. That's cool. Knock yourselves out.
I'm going to see my way out of that conversation.
Yeah. Dylan Parsons asked, have you guys thought about going south for skunk ape? Our buddy, former Central Florida Bigfoot,
the artist formerly known as Central Florida Bigfoot.
Actually, he had a big get together that Alex Petikoff actually was part of. We couldn't get away long enough to go down, but they did a big thing on the swamp down there. We might eventually. We are going to try to look into like the lizard men down in that area.
Well, Lizard Man is in Bishopville, South Carolina. That's South Carolina's flagship cryptid, I guess, because forever South Carolina was kind of skipped over when it came to Bigfoot. And we kind of discussed a little bit of that in our presentation as well. The secrecy that kind of is inherent to the people of the Southern Appalachian region and South Carolina, namely. And we talked about that with the Newberry sighting and everything that came out of that. But the Lizard Man is kind of what the cryptid we're known for. But we'd love to go and do the Lizard Man story. I think that we kind of are required to a degree.
Couple other quick things. This is just going to be a chat-driven thing, and it's going to center mostly around the Smoky Mountain Conference and what we talked about, but it's going to veer off as people do this. Bonnie Blue, what do you think about the theory that the areas in the national parks are off limits so that cryptids have territory to roam? I go back and forth on this. I guess there's three possibilities. A, that these things were just creatures of nature, and that those are the last remaining vestiges of like real untouched nature, and that's just where they have kind of like retreated back to. Or like you said, there is something to that possibly. I don't know. Like with the Blackthorn, we talk about how weird it is that area was all that land was seized. It looks like they started to do something with it, spent some serious coin on it, and then abandoned it. And I'm going, well, was there weird stuff going on here? And that's why they abandoned it? Or did they just abandon it because they ran out of money, budget cuts, whatever? And then that's when the weird stuff moved in, because it had room to kind of roam at that point. So, and then Sarge asked, what about the tiny human-like barefoot tracks and large canine tracks you found by the water in the winter? That's in the Grove. We're going to actually be doing a big thing on the Grove, because right now, when it gets cooler is the time to do it. So we've got a big thing that's pretty cool planned for the Grove. Some witnesses that are going to hopefully, right now they're willing to come forward. Hopefully that willingness is going to kind of stay. Some of them have some extremely crazy encounters
very crazy. Like, you guys are gonna lose it over these witness encounters. Also, we got a couple other things up our sleeve.
Kurt, thank you so much for that, Kurt.
Thank you, Kurt.
Thank you. What else you got?
Can I go now?
Yeah, go ahead. So
okay. We've got a couple other things up our sleeves. We really want to talk about some of the lesser known legends of the Southern Appalachian region. Doing our research into putting this whole presentation together and really thinking about this has gotten us kind of in the mood to really shine some light on some lesser known Southern Appalachian legends and lore. So we're excited about bringing some of that to a wider audience and to the nation as well. Carry on.
Sean had asked, y'all ever going to get some more merch patches? We might do like another run. We didn't even take merch with us to this conference because we had gone really merch heavy on the previous two conferences that we did. And people enjoyed it, and that's cool. And obviously the revenue helps out with the equipment and the investigations and everything. But the whole reason for us doing these conferences is not to stand on the stage and feel important. It's like to interact with people.
Yes.
And we found that we were spending all of our time being merchants and trying to run credit cards and getting PayPal to work and trying to track down change. So we didn't do merch on this. We had a little bit of leftover merch, some shirts and hats and patches and everything. Not patches, stickers. We took those and just basically gave them all away.
All the kids got shirts.
All the kids. We had a bunch of smalls. So all the kids that came.
Every child got a shirt. Dooster's in the chat.
Dooster, what's
Hope
up,
to
buddy?
see y'all in McMinnville. Madoo.
What's cool? What's cool about one of the many cool things about all of this is
myself, of course,
is something that is really apparent that maybe it's been like this for a while and I just didn't realize it and just didn't notice it. I knew it was kind of happening to a degree, but not to this degree. We were at, the first time I noticed it is we were at Monster Fest, Small Town Monsters first festival. And when we were at our table, you know, we had constant stream of people coming up and talking to us because we are insanely popular people, in case you have not clued it.
everyone
loves us.
Just beloved figures.
Beloved, universally loved.
Universally loved.
No crazy rant-filled death threats.
No
on a
one
weekly
wants
basis.
to chop me up.
Nobody wants to burn Jesse at the stake.
No one at all.
But when we were there talking to people, there was this little girl hanging back at Monster Fest. And she had her parents here and she had her little notebook. And then finally there was like a little kind of like gap in people. And the mom's like, go on. So she comes up to Jesse and stands in front of her. And then she's just in like a rush. She's like, can I ask you a few questions? So Jesse goes, yeah, honey, come on down here. So I would talk to people and Jesse's still in the corner and talk to this like little girl for a while. And then Jesse comes up and gets some stuff and takes it over and gives it to her, like a shirt and some other stuff. And then she comes up and she's like, I'm that girl's school project. That little girl wants to like grow up and like get older and hunt Bigfoot. I'm her school project right now. She wanted to ask me some questions for it. So I knew it was that case, but at this conference, it really kind of dawned on me that because there were a bunch of kids that came there that were like there for Jesse. A lot of like younger girls that came in that might not normally be into this sort of stuff.
I think this whole field has been traditionally like very aggressively dominated by angry, no offense, angry old bearded men.
As an angry old bearded man, I have no problem with that. But it was weird seeing that. It was weird seeing like how there were like so many like young girls that were coming up to like see Jesse that were like really like into it. But then it ran the gamut. There were a lot of like females there, from like young girls to grandmothers that were there like just to see Jesse. And I'm not like bragging right now. If you guys were there, you saw it. We had a different crowd of people coming up to our table. And it was really, really, really apparent. And quite honestly, it's really freaking cool. Okay. Because here's the deal. Everybody's experiencing this stuff, or everybody has the potential to experience this stuff. Okay. Not just grumpy old white bearded dudes like me, you know? So it was really cool.
Y'all got the market cornered.
We got the market cornered, man. But it was cool to see that. It was just neat, man. Because again, one of these like kids, you know, one of these like young girls might be the one that grows up and solves the whole damn thing, man, you know? So it was just really kind of cool to see that, again, because like I said, this is a universal phenomenon. So these are universal phenomena, and that they happen to everybody. Everybody can experience them. Possibly in some cases, women are more likely to experience it. So it was just kind of cool to see them all into it. So, all right, what else we got?
We got a lot of stuff marked on there. If you want to go to the old bottom of the old list there, my man.
Buddy, Cool Crow Productions.
Cool
Wish
Crow.
I could have been in Gatlinburg with you guys. We will be there next year with Legend of the Wild Man. Heck yeah. I doubt we'll speak there next year, just because generally they the non-TV people, they just kind of rotate through. But I don't know though, man. I think this sounds like I'm bragging even more than usual, if that's possible. But I think having people who don't just do this for like 8 weeks out of the year with a script, and then they just, you know, I mean, we can talk to people with like real world experience and whatnot, not just what we were scripted to do on TV. We can.
Shots fired.
No, I'm not saying that's bad. Listen, we don't have the name recognition that those people have, and those people are packing the seats. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You know, I mean, we don't have the recognition to like headline something like that. but we can at least talk to people, and I think like offer like a more interactive like experience with stuff like that. I think that's fair to say. You know what I'm saying? So, but they usually swap out the non-TV people, so I doubt we'll do that next year, unfortunately. World of Whiskey. I also have a witness encounter.
We were in that world on Saturday night.
I also have a witness encounter for the Grove LBL if interested.
Okay.
You have something from the Grove? Reach out to us. Hellbentholler@gmail.com. Put Grove in the title because we are insanely behind on emails. Alex Petakov Adventures says what you guys need to do is get up to the Northern Appalachians up here in New England. We've got 3 paranormal triangles up here alone: Bridgewater, Bennington, and the, what is that one? The Ossipee? Am I reading that right?
Sure.
Let me get my spectacles on here.
Get a closer look at that Ossipee.
Ossipee. Let me get a look at. Let me take a gander at that Ossipee. Let me
a little peek at that pea.
Let me take a close gander at that Ossipee. That would actually be bad. That would be cool. I would love to do that. As we kind of grow this, that's the whole goal, is to start to expand out of our territory and see how the activity in other areas compares and contrasts with what we do here. So refresh our memories. What is the origin of Banana Town?
I have a tendency when I start talking about stuff is, all right, when I start diverging into a very weird direction about something, I always kind of prime the pump by saying, all right, now we're going into Banana Town. Like, it's crazy. We're going to talk about crazy stuff now. So we actually did Banana Town t-shirts, and we had a couple folks wear Turdog and Pork Chop wear their Banana Town.
The Banana Town Boys.
They're the Banana Town Boys. That's the name of the
yeah.
gang, is the Banana Town Boys. So Banana Town is one of our little inside jokes. We got jokes.
Oh, let's see. Our buddy Quartz. Hope y'all get to Texas or Oklahoma someday for events out here. The region needs y'all's input. I'd like just to go to Oklahoma.
Yeah, for
Link
sure.
up with Okie and some other people out in Oklahoma and just kind of do some investigating out there. And our buddy Mark D, member for 17 months. If y'all stop doing conventions, how will we get to meet you guys in person?
We want to do some
Hellbender
like kind of get together things.
Yeah,
you know?
like where maybe instead of like everybody's in like a convention hall, we get like a campground somewhere, and then like maybe kind of
more of a conclave.
Yeah, like a conclave, and get together and just kind of like shoot the breeze. And
that way we're not having to go through all of the stuff to go through a convention and all of the trappings of that just to hang out with you guys. We'd rather do it all on all of our own terms.
Yeah, and in that way, you mean obviously you'd have to pay to get there. You'd have to, arrange transportation, hop a train, steal a car, do something to get there, and then you'd have to like eat while you're there. But
commandeer a Thunderbird,
but it
whether that be a car or a cryptid.
It wouldn't be like a cost thing. It wouldn't be anything we would charge money for. It would just be,
and we wouldn't do it in the middle of like a very, very expensive tourism location.
We would just do it somewhere that would be maybe more accessible to everybody. So we'll see. We'll figure something out. But I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, the highlight of these things are always like meeting people that we interact with online.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so far, Hellbenders are batting 1,000. When I meet y'all in real life, I just go, you're pretty much what I pictured in my head. You know what I'm saying? So you're pretty much what I pictured in my head. And that has ran pretty much universally so far. Joseph Sage has a question. Do you feel that Native Americans are withholding information when it comes to cryptids and ancient America? I think that we had a phrase that we used during the presentation called Appalachian gatekeeping. People in this region, it doesn't matter whether they are of like English or Irish or German descent, whether they are part of the original like Native American, tribes of the Cherokee and the Catawba that were in this area when the Europeans arrived. They don't like talking to outsiders. A big chunk of our presentation was on why Bigfoot has not been really found, the difficulty of like really like finding it in the Southern Appalachians. We talked about Eric Rudolph, like we've mentioned here before, the bomber. And he stayed hidden in Western North Carolina for almost 9 years. With the full weight of the American government, he was the FBI's most wanted There was $1 million bounty, like Jesse always likes to say, in 1990.
1996, 1997 dollars.
That's a lot of money back then.
Listen, we were what did we watch last night? A little bit of Antique Roadshow. My God, we love Antique Roadshow because we're old people. Do not see the glasses. It's just crazy to see like that difference. $1 million in 1996. That is some real
that was on Eric Rudolph's head. Okay.
And the full weight of the FBI.
There's never been the full weight of the FBI brought to bear to find Bigfoot. But the Eric Rudolph thing is important for two reasons. A man, even with some survivalist training, was able to stay hidden for almost 9 years. He gave himself up because he was tired of it. He just wouldn't want to do it anymore. Now, if you had a creature that never entered into its mind, it's not tired of it because that's its life. That's all it knows. It can stay hidden indefinitely. The other thing that's important is
also it's a matter of survival. Eric Rudolph was not going to, he was going to get captured and imprisoned. You know? This thing, I mean, maybe it knows the potential that if
one of them house of cards down,
brings the whole house of cards down, but also,
But the second part of that is the fact that some of the locals knew he was there, and they knew there was $1 million reward on his head, and they still didn't say. They said jack crap. Okay, they didn't say anything at all because this region doesn't like authority and they don't like outsiders. And that's whether you are on tribal land.
How far are you going to get? What good does $1 million do a dead rat?
Yeah. So and then the Native American thing is more nuanced. We used to have a contact with the local Catawba tribe who passed away, untimely, God rest his soul. And his father is it an elder with the Catawba? I mean, an elder, basically. I don't know what the exact title is, unfortunately. And he was very conversant with a lot of the stories and the folklore of the Catawba, but the father didn't believe any of it. Tribal elder, he just didn't believe it. He knew it, and he knew it was important to kind of protect that culture and keep it going. And now the son had experiences, and he was very much a believer in this. That's how we originally, were able to get contact with him and whatnot. So, the Native American tribes, they're not monolithic, even within the tribe itself. You've got some people that don't believe any of this at all. Some of them know the stories, but just think the stories are important to do, but don't believe it. Others know what it is. Now, certain areas like up in Cherokee itself, North Carolina, and JD, if he's in here, he can back this up. A lot of people, I can't say everyone on the reservation, but most of them believe in Bigfoot, and even more believe in the small folk, the Cherokee little people at that point. And they don't want to talk about it either. So Shade Viking had asked, Hellbent Holler, what's the Hellbent Halloween plan? We don't know yet. We're trying to figure it out.
We've been rolling around a couple of ideas. We got a good one. We got a pretty good one.
Got a pretty good
one. We still haven't been back to the old settlement where we did Ghosts of Appalachia for Halloween, where we got that shadow figure and where we got that EVP of that entity saying, "Here's City Boy."
Here's City Boy. Alex just sealed the deal with Ossipee Triangle, home of the weirdest Bigfoot sighting I've taken. Also, possibly where Aleister Crowley performed rituals when he lived in New Hampshire for a summer. Jesse is officially sold and is probably booking tickets on the computer as we speak. Don Murray, I keep hearing McMinnville. That is McMinnville, Tennessee.
10RC.
The Tennessee Wild Man and Cryptid Conference.
Well, look at there. There's the
oh my God, look at that.
Who knew? That would just pop up as soon as you said it. My God.
You guys need to have a Hellbent field researcher boot camp.
I don't know if any of you would survive.
You would drop like flies.
He who survives. I don't. Well, I think what we had a nice little conversation. Yes, God, that was yesterday. It feels like it was a week ago. We had a nice conversation, an idea we bounced around yesterday with MK at lunch. That is something akin to that. I think we could kind of do that, but we wouldn't do anything super hardcore because I think that there'd be too many lawsuits.
Here's the deal: is that don't do it exactly like how we do it.
No.
Everybody, we need a varied approach.
We need a
to this.
variety of approaches to
We
this.
don't need everybody doing the same.
We got to
thing.
cover several bases.
Because quite honestly, I don't know what the right approach is to crack this whole thing right now. You want to take a harp and drag it out in the middle of a field and play a harp and see if that'll knock yourself out. Please do it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to just build weird scientific
How did that work out for
devices-
Charles Scudder playing the harp in the woods?
Playing the harp in the middle of nowhere. But if you want to take a completely scientific approach, do it. You know what I'm saying? We need a holistic approach to this. We need like every single thing, all the bases done. But I do encourage people to get involved in this because everybody always complains about how toxic the field is. And you're never going to really get rid of the toxic people. There's no way to vote people off the island on this. The best way to combat that is to dilute it, get more really, really cool people involved in it. And our buddy Surviving the Strange was there. And I was trying to encourage him to kind of start doing some more active stuff and get it out there just because he's cool as hell. And we need more. That's the way you make the community, the greater community better, is that you get cooler people in it and doing stuff and not being a-holes. So
don't be an a-hole.
Don't be an a-hole.
I got some more stuff.
You got some more stuff?
There's more stuff. There's more. This chat's a flying, boy.
Our buddy Cryptid Castleberry was there. A Hellbender weekend could devolve into us becoming the weird cold people of the forests.
You better start believing in weird
Forest
cult people
because you're about ready to become
you're
one.
in one.
Let's see what else we got. Our buddy Hawk. What's up, Hawk? My contacts are all foggy. I learned from Native Americans how to live side by side with the Foots. Took me a while to gain trust, though. Yeah, and it's weird because
also, a lot of Native tradition and lore is dismissed outright very, very quickly. It's that a lot of people just say, "Oh, well, that's just a story. They've misidentified a bear. They're closer to the land, and they lived closer to the land, and
for longer.
It's creatures and
well, here's the deal.
Wildlife longer than anybody here. Everybody here is on their phone." 24/7.
Well, the big thing is that there seems to be two big chapters in Sasquatch in North America. And it is the pre-Columbian, before European settlers really got here, when Sasquatch appeared to be much more interactive. And that was a good thing and a bad thing sometimes. And then after that, where they became more reclusive. But the thing is that people just fetishize, it's a fetish. Native Americans are held up on a pedestal in a way, but then they're kind of just dismissed as silly, like superstitious. And look how adorable they are with their little stories of, their booger dances and whatnot. And again, like I said, here's the deal. You look at the stuff that the Cherokee and the Catawba, at least in this region, reported experiencing, and then the European settlers experienced it and recorded it right after them. And then people in modern times are still experiencing it and still recording it. But and I think it's fair to say that we can all agree on the fact that, especially in our area, traditionally the Native American tribes weren't treated that well. And that still continues to this day. A lot of times there's some still lingering animosity there.
Pork chop is still there.
Pork chop still is what, he's in jail?
No.
Thank you for that, Hawk.
Dang, y'all are still going. I'm sitting on top of Anakista Mountain in Gatlinburg watching y'all. No, he's not in jail. We don't have to send the Creek 8 in. We don't have to have the Creek 8 operation. You dying there?
I'm dying. You got me on.
We don't have to have the Creek 8 operation deployed just yet for pork chop.
Alex, Joe, look up the story of the North Pond Hermit. Can you write that down? The guy who stayed hid in the woods remains for 27 years. Within a few miles of multiple camps and residences. And that's the thing, is that
I'm surprised that Timothy Renner hasn't done.
He probably has.
Timothy went on a real hermit kick.
He was on his hermit arc.
It was his hermit arc.
But that's the thing, is that
hello all, it's Timothy Renner. We're going to talk about another hermit.
Eric Rudolph is public enemy #1.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get him. They couldn't get him.
And he shamed us. He shamed us with this terrible display at the Olympics.
Yeah. So
everybody was looking for him.
Yeah. And they couldn't get him. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. Let's catch up on the chat here. This has just become a chat-driven show, and that's all right.
For you, the people.
For you, the people. We are people of the people.
People of the people. Man of the people.
Good God, what did I just do? Just getting willy-nilly hitting buttons here.
That's what happens.
Just a button hitter. R.I.P. Ozzy.
R.I.P. Ozzy.
R.I.P. Ozzy. What else crazy is happening? You know what else is crazy is happening in the news?
Are we doing a news segment now? What's going on here?
I know, because I don't like news segments when people do that. You know what I'm saying? It's really hard to bring like a unique perspective to like a news segment.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of times it's just, that's lazy like podcasting, which is probably why we should start doing a news segment. What is the space rock that's coming our way?
Mambo number 5.
I know is that what it is?
Yes, it is. It's called Mambo number 5.
It's called Mambo number 5.
Did you have a stroke? Are you all right?
No, I'm starring some stuff I want to revisit later.
Oh, Jesus. Scorpius. The kin are waiting for you. Joe flipped out about that.
That was, yeah, I'm still not comfortable.
We still haven't been back there. We've not returned to either of those locations since Halloween.
Pancho Zorch was there. Should have harnessed your Ender Wednesday Adams. Pancho was at the conference. Popped over, made an appearance.
And we got a lot of really cool gifts. We're gonna have to go through.
We were gonna try to do a thing like a gift present. So we took what
gift presentation.
We took stuff to give away, and people would come up to the table, and we would find people that had supported the channel, and we would give them stuff. I think Cryptid Castleberry got our last hat and our last sticker that we had. We're out of everything now. We gave literally everything away.
Becca got the last pint glass.
And then we were...
MK got the...
handkerchief prototype.
The prototype! God, like I'm in here like weaving a handkerchief together. And he got...
But anyway...
He got the prototype.
We took all the stuff to like give away, but then like everybody like brought us stuff. We got like machetes, shotgun shells, shillelaghs.
I got
3D printed...
a 3D printed capsule, and I say that way on purpose. A 3D printed capsule from my boy Rick Skinner that it's perfectly designed to hold Vienna sausages. And then there's Vienna sausage forks in one side. Joe got a flag container. We're going to show you guys all of these things.
And all of this, like we had a Neanderthal skull, a deer skull painted to look like our logo. So much stuff. It like boggled. My mind was boggled. It was just so.
It was a whirlwind. By the end of it, we just had all these crazy items piled up on the table.
Yeah, it was like bizarre. It was crazy.
It was awesome.
People that really didn't know us would walk up after the presentation to talk to us and just be like, what the hell's going on here?
I think Nathan was like, this is what I like, guys. This guy over here is selling books. This guy over here is selling books. I come to your table. It's full of weird stuff.
Weird stuff, man.
And we're just here to talk and hang out. I was like, yes.
Banana Town boy. Anyway, but let's see what else we got here. We're going to try to catch up on this chat. And then we're going to wrap up, man. We're going to get some food. I don't want to put some of this stuff up. Anyway, some of it's a little spicy.
How spicy? How spicy can you get? Is it like Aleister Crowley spicy?
Okies says the same thing. Mountain folks across the country are leery of outsiders. And again, it's that Appalachian gatekeeping. They don't rush to, their first instinct is not, I'm going to go find a online Bigfoot group and file a report. It never really gets filed. And one of the big things that we talked about during the presentation, which we've talked about on the live streams, Newberry, South Carolina, November 2024. The Bigfoot sighting that was there, that was from my cop while he was hunting, went viral. It was
You
a
know, I
slow
should-
new days.
You know what I should do is pull
And-
up my slide. You guys want to see my slide?
You want to see some slides?
Y'all want to see some slides?
Want to see some slides? But that wrecked hunting season, some TikTok people from Asheville, North Carolina, nearly got shot down there wandering around the woods with the hunters. And it just ticked off all the locals, ruined hunting season, cost a bunch of people money. And I tell you right now that if somebody down there tries to make a Bigfoot report going forward, they're probably going to get like bad things would happen.
Where is that slide? Here.
So
you guys, what slides you want me to show them?
Start at the beginning, man. Let them see the slides. Jesse did a great job on the slides.
Well, not all of them, because we still got the presentation we got to do in Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
We can't just
Show them like your top 2 favorite slides that you did.
I like the Newberry one.
Jason, you're always so complimentary on our channel and everybody else's channel. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, Jason. Jason Finch. All right, I'm downloading these, and I'm going to show you some of these slides just because I'm super stoked about the design I did on some of these.
Hey, guys, it was great meeting y'all and talking to you as well.
Absolutely.
We had a blast.
Oh, you know what? My favorite one. How about that? Let me show you my favorite.
I'm so far behind in this damn chat. Good God.
Well, you're in charge now.
I'm in charge now.
This is a good one. We're going to download a couple of these, and I'll show them to y'all. Just because I was pretty stoked about my design. My design.
You showing the slide or what? What's happening?
Dead air. Yeah.
Show some slides,
I'm trying
man.
to download slides, Joseph, please.
Jesus God, man. Let's talk aliens. What's up, Hellbent? I miss seeing you guys. I had to look for your channel again
What
because
was
somehow I
that?
was unsubscribed from you. Glad you guys are still good. If you're watching this, check to make sure you're still subscribed, or don't. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow, he's so edgy and so cool.
I'm telling you. So
He doesn't
I just
care.
hate that whole hit the bell, guys.
He doesn't care.
You check, see if you want to see our stuff. Check and see if you're still subscribed. People get unsubscribed all the time.
Happens all the time. It could happen to you.
All
right, here's the Newberry
Well, let me answer this question. What are you researching next coming up? Jesse's working on the next Blackthorn. The next Blackthorn video is going to have some recap because there was such a gap between videos. This is where Blackthorn gets weird. Really weird. So, and that's like such a suspenseful thing, trying to pique their interest there. But Blackthorn is coming up, and then we've got a lot of Blackthorn footage to show and share still, and it is going to be. Then there's another case that has been kind of a really weird one that seems like it's just kind of like disappeared from like public conversation here in this region that we're going to kind of try to revisit a little bit. Show some slides, show some beautiful slide action here.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Anything for you. All right. It won't let me upload them into StreamYard.
So why don't you do it?
Nah, we're just going to do it this way.
How are you going to do it?
I've got my ways. Don't you worry, my
Let's see
boy.
what you got.
Don't you worry your
What you
sweet little
got?
head.
What you got? Whoa, that's a slide. Look at that slide.
That's what we call some slide action.
That's some slide stuff right there, man. Newberry, South
Slide
Carolina.
up.
Needless to say, that was our Newberry, South Carolina slide for that part of the presentation.
Very good,
Where we
Joe.
talked about why reports don't come out of this region as often as what you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
West Virginia's still in Gatlinburg as well, man.
Good God.
Good Lord,
we
man.
had to get out Sunday.
It's too damn hot.
We had to get out. We drove all the way to Waynesville to eat lunch. We had to get out of Gatlinburg. And went and saw Granny. It was a good day. All right, so here's another one.
What you got?
Silence in the Hollers. Infrastructural and cultural barriers.
That was like the meat and potatoes of the presentation.
That's that big
because
boy.
The big thing about the presentation was don't get upset because people mock you because Bigfoot has not been discovered yet, because it's not as easy as what people think it is, especially if you're not out there doing it. There are things that exist that are real barriers for like official discovery. And some of them are very obvious. Some of them are not so obvious, but some of them are very, very, very culturally ingrained around here. And certain individual areas of the Southern Appalachians have their own unique cultural barriers that exist and are in place to really kind of like suppress data coming out of that area that deal with Sasquatch or any sort of like weirdness at that point. But Hawk's got a good one here. Man, my eyes are going here. One in particular wouldn't talk till I answered certain questions. He wanted no harm to come to them, the Bigfoot. I just wanted to live peacefully because I had donkeys and horses and lots of dogs. How did the Sasquatch, I've always heard stories about Sasquatch interacting with horses. How did they interact with the donkeys? Because donkeys are mean, right? Donkeys are mean, right?
I don't have a lot of donkey experience because I was never given a Hellbent Holler pack mule. So
we never got that mule that people were kind of.
I guess it got lost in the mail.
Yeah.
I hope you poked holes in the box.
Buddy Turdog, one of the Banana Town boys.
JD's smooth. Did Meldrum hold the rock? He would not hold the rock.
He would not. So, although it's a funny little anecdote.
I've got more slides.
We were posing for the speaker's photo, and Jeff Meldrum was wearing the lanyard that they give you. All right, the lanyard that's on your chest around the little the quarter on your neck. And he was complaining that it always flipped around and you would see the black with a white part on the back. And you would never see the colorful front thing that showed his face, that he was a speaker there and that he was going to write a thesis paper on why that always happened. And Jessie turns around and looks at him. She goes, have you ever heard about this thing called tape? Just put a little tape on the back of there, double it over, you'll have a sticky thing. It'll stay there and it won't flip. And he's like, oh, I've never thought of that before. And Jessie goes, and I don't even have a doctorate. Look at that. And he just kind of got this weird look on his face, like, who are these people?
And then
Jeff never spoke to us
again. So that was the end of that one.
That was the end of that.
You want to see some more slides?
It won't let you comment on a super sticker? Comment again, and whatever you wanted to comment.
Look at that one. The high strangeness factor.
Look at the Bigfoot pondering his orb.
Pondering his orb. I got another one. This is my favorite one. That is my favorite thing I've
Forbidden Hollers.
That's my favorite thing I've ever designed by far.
Mm-hmm. I want
to use that for like a thumbnail. That is my favorite thing I have ever designed.
Tear Dog, if you're still on here, I'm looking for your comment since it wouldn't let you do
Banana
something.
Boy, redeploy.
Redeploy, Banana Boy. Here we go. Banana Boy here. He got it. Banana Boy here. A Bama Boy here.
He's a banana boy.
He's a banana Bama Boy. Can we do a camping meetup at the LBL?
We thought a little bit about
that. The only thing you have to watch out for are the crazy people who are associated with the LBL.
Yes.
So, but if we
Falk Expedition, Joe Johnson. It's our Falk guy.
The Falk guy. What's up?
We got a Falk guy.
We do have a Falk guy. So, all right, we're gonna catch up with this chat, and then we're gonna call it.
Yeah.
Jesse's gonna try to get Blackthorn kind of wrapped up, and then we got to get ready for Tennessee Wildman.
Let's talk aliens. Said, ever heard of a place called Seven Devils in Oregon? You know, if you go between when you're on your way from like Wiseman's View, where you can see the Brown Mountain Lights, and then you're headed towards Boone, you go through a very small little town called Seven Devils as well. The more you know.
Falk Expedition, did you see the pics on your messenger? I haven't seen anything on
I have not. I've not really checked anything.
It's been a whirlwind, man.
I've also been trying to promote stuff today.
We're in promotion. That's what we do nowadays. We don't do that stuff ananymore. We're self-promoters now.
No, I'm up to my eyeballs and stuff right now.
Yeah, but we'll check, man. We'll check.
I will get to
we'll take a look at it. And we will see if we've got them. They're probably just sitting in there. But we appreciate it, my man. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Moondog Davis popping up in here. What's up, Moondog?
Moondog.
Hawks answer my question about the
Moondog gave me one of my most treasured items.
Possessions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, two of them actually.
Yeah.
A very rare book on Egypt and a scarab.
A scarab. Those are pretty. Yeah, those are
two of my my most treasured possessions.
I had minis, Joe. Found some dead yotes and chickens in the pastures from where the stud killed them. He would also kick the heck out of my dogs. Lab was dumb, thought the stud was playing. Yeah, so there means, how did Did the Bigfoot ever have any like conflict with them, or was it just did they kind of like have?
I just noticed you've got your glasses on. You're
I'm
in like little old man professor mode.
Well, let me tell you here.
I'm in Golden Girl mode right now.
Golden Girl mode. So, all right. Let's see what here.
I'm trying to catch up myself, my man.
He says he only had one killed, and I don't know what did it because there was Dogman around also. The year-old mini had its neck broke from being twisted around. All right.
Bristol said that Meldrum was just jealous he didn't have a rock of his own.
Actually, everybody was
super nice.
Extremely pleasant to us.
We're goofy. We're just goofing.
I'll tell you who the best hype man in the freaking business is.
RPG.
RPG. Surprising.
What a nice dude.
When we met him, it was a little weird because we know that we're a little crass, and we're like a nice thing. So, but when he did the presentation,
I'm eating pot roast like this.
When it was surprising because he's like talking to us about like our LBL stuff, and he had seen the trailer for
He introduced us before we went on stage,
and it was like the craziest like hype.
And he calls us like the ultimate paranormal power couple, and he says if they were any more beautiful, I would have to hate them. And I was like, oh, what a way to introduce.
It was weird because like he like knew specifics about.
You know how to butter my bread.
Here we go. KF. Sorry, we missed you in Gatlinburg. To hope to catch up with everyone in McMinnville. Thank you for your hard work.
It's going to be amazing.
We're
I'm so excited.
McMinnville is, like I said, it's third year we've done it. And
Tennessee Wild Man is going to be a blast.
It gets bigger like every year. Last year it was like huge. So I don't know how big it's going to be this year. I would assume bigger.
And what's awesome too is they have food trucks that come out, and they have I hope the same vendors come out, because they had one food truck that was you could get an entire cup of Mexican street corn. Phenomenal. They do such a great job organizing the event. You can actually have like good one-on-one time with us.
Yeah.
It's a more intimate, like relaxed event, and everybody just has a great time. They've done a great job organizing it.
Cryptic Castleberry says Hellbent Holler needs a Don King to handle promotion. We are going to do something. We're going to have a hype man working the crowd when people are waiting to like get up.
We had to have MK kind of managing the line.
MK was managing the line for it. David, I touched the rock and I liked it. So we're chaos people just because we're constantly running from thing to thing. We don't have a moment to breathe. So I was originally going to try to take some more time off work to kind of really get set up for this, and that didn't happen. So we got packed up with a hurry, made sure that we had everything. We're still trying to finalize. The presentation we normally do is very audio visual heavy. It's like a lot of video clips, a lot of audio clips, and it never works when we're doing this. And it's always, we just have to just kind of wing it. So we did something that didn't rely on that, but we were still trying to polish it up. We leave, we go, and we get a ways down the road, and we stop and we get gas. And we get out of the car, and Jesse's just like, "Oh my God, we've got a big problem." And I'm thinking,
I jumped out of the truck.
I think we're gonna
screaming.
We have a flat tire. I'm leaking coolant. No, we forgot the rock. And I'm like, no one's gonna ask about that damn rock. It's just a joke.
Crazy.
It's just a joke. And so she insisted that we turn around and go get this damn rock. So she's like, just pull up, and I'll run in and grab the rock.
We have to go through the back door.
So she goes and gets the rock, and then I'm like, wait, that rock's heavy as hell, and it's like 110 out here right now. She comes out.
I'm trying to open the driveway gate and hold the rock.
So that damn devil rock. So I get the devil rock, put it in the truck, and we go, and we get there. And then everybody that there was a surprising number of Hellbenders that were at the VIP event. And then people are asking about the rock. So then the next morning, it was a mad dash to get there. Jesse was getting ready. I went to go get her some breakfast. I'm walking down the road.
I got to put this face on, kids.
I'm walking down the road to get her breakfast and coffee because that's the sort of dude that I am. I'm giving, I'm kind,
loving,
humble. And I can't tell you how many people,
not just protecting his own life.
How many people stopped me on the damn road asking where the rock was. It just kept happening over and over and over again. I would be walking, and I'm kind of head down because I'm not trying to be rude, but I got to get food, get back, and we got to get there and get our table. And all of a sudden somebody would get in my way and I would look up and they would be like,
and they go, rock,
and I'd be like,
give us the rock.
Rock, give us the rock. And I'd be like, I know what's getting ready to happen. And it was that rock, give us the rock. We could have probably just put some googly eyes on the freaking rock and left it at the table and just gone and relaxed at the pool for the rest.
Oh my God, that would have been awesome.
So
rock, give us the rock. Rock, show us the rock.
Let's see what else we got here.
Oh Lord. Y'all.
Dear Dog, the Banana Boy, if you found an unalive Bigfoot or another cryptid, would you drag it home for proof?
Dear Dog, the Banana Boy.
We actually have a protocol for that. As much as we like to joke and everything like that, we're serious. We're not serious about ourselves, but we're serious about the investigations. There ain't no way you're gonna be able to drag a whole body like that out.
So there's certain parts
that we have a plan on trying to get out with. And we have a ideal scenario of what we would get, mark it on the GPS, hope to come back for the rest of it. And then there's if we just need to grab some pieces and just unask the area.
We're going to grab some pieces.
We've got some pieces that are particularly just ones that would be very identifiable, ones that would be very rich with DNA. And so, yeah, we have a plan for that.
And if I've got a moment to eat its heart and gain its
strength. So,
California
Ryan, what's up, buddy? Happy Monday, everyone. Really enjoyed Jesse's recent interviews about the documentary.
Thank you very much.
Man, we are the big time now. You know what I'm saying? You know what my favorite nationwide, very highly prestigious interview was that I did? Well, there's just been so many, it's hard to pick one. They're just beating down my door, aren't they? Oh, yeah. The brains, the looks, the heart of the operation.
Why don't you
just completely
just carry the rock?
Just carry. What's funny is you've had like 20 interview requests. The Rock's had like 10.
Do you feel like Sisyphus every day?
Sisyphus.
You just take the rock to and from convention centers all day.
Goony Goo Goo. Appreciate you guys posing with my red circle. Fun. The red circle. Goony Goo Goo had a giant red circle with a arrow off of it, and everybody would pose inside the red circle. It was a genius. It was the coolest thing, and I'm surprised. I was just going, why has nobody done that before? Thank you so much, man.
I think
you guys were awesome.
That's one thing that makes me very excited. People are having fun.
Here's the deal. This is the coolest topic in the world. It is the most enjoyable topic in the world.
And
you're exploring the mysteries of the universe and of the world. It's the coolest stuff in the world. Don't make it lame. Don't make it boring. Have fun with it. You can treat things very seriously and enjoy them. There's nothing wrong with that. And you can even play thought experiments and you can let your imagination run wild with it as long as you're not hoaxing stuff or being cringy. Have fun with it, man. Enjoy it. I thought it was awesome.
Nathan says he's got to run. See you guys in McMinnville. See you, Nathan. Rock, give us
Christopher Lindberry, I'd like to see you guys have a big cryptid, Hellbent, holler, SUV, or camper thing decked out with your logo and big enough for your equipment and research peeps.
We would never put a logo on a vehicle because that's just like saying, oh, hey.
Here are those people you guys want to set on fire.
Break into this vehicle for camera equipment.
But we would like to have that, and if we ever hit the
Bigfoot
lottery,
the Bigfoot lottery,
we will be doing it. Nutslap, that's your advice for everything.
Poncho Sorge goes, good thing you got a machete. The
Yes,
machete
indeed.
is for chopping off Bigfoot parts.
So,
Machete.
all right, I'm gonna catch up with the chat, and we're gonna wrap it up.
Oh yeah, Joe, you forgot your head in a plastic bag. That was so what a creepy Easter egg.
Rick friggin' brought it.
What a creepy Easter egg. That was like
true Hellbent holler lore time at that point. Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
that was like, I just remember standing there going, did you do this? Oh, yes, I did do it on purpose. So
genius. I'm thoroughly impressed by by
everybody's
all of this.
ingenuity and just coolness.
I am just thoroughly
Everybody
impressed.
was just so cool.
My
man.
dad, so my mom and dad were actually at the conference. Turdog met my mother. I gave Turdog a description of my mother, and he tracked her down and talked to her. But I showed my dad my Vienna sausage capsule and everything, and my dad went nuts for it. Thought it was one of the coolest things
ever.
And the size, it's the perfect size,
There would be people who had never really experienced, like, didn't know who the hell we were, who came up after the presentation to talk to us. And there's all this stuff on the table.
They're like,
and
what
they're
is
just
this?
Well, we've got this running joke about Vienna sausages, and Jesse always steps in scat, and we found this weird meat in a bag one time, and we carry machetes and knives and stuff like that. And also,
Joe has a doctorate in cinematography, apparently.
I'm a very well-known cinematographer. So, what's an aperture again? But the scribe is back. But
scribe.
Sad to see that you guys have switched to members only content.
Have we? I didn't know that.
We haven't released. Here's this, since you brought it up. When we work regular jobs. So we work regular jobs in order to feed ourselves and to fund Hellbent Holler. And then we have a membership program that also helps out and helps keep it going. And
keeps us in batteries.
Part of the agreement that we made is that we would release members content. And part of the reason why I am not really pushing, and this is a me thing, is because I'm the one that has to spend hours filing copyright claims when people steal our publicly available stuff for their own profit.
And they do.
And they do it all the time. I was up until 2:00 in the morning a few nights before we left, filing 3 of them because nameless, faceless AI channels are making tons of money off of our stuff because they're using bot traffic to do it. Mm-hmm. So we're still going to do public content, but we're also doing a lot of members content. So that's all there is to it. We're not going to apologize for it. Public content's still coming, but I'm going to be honest with you. YouTube's kind of a treacherous place right now, and it's very time consuming to do. And a lot of times it's very thankless, and that's all there is to it. And we'll put cool stuff up, and then all of a sudden some AI channel from Romania takes it and
then tries to threaten us.
And then tries to threaten us by having our channel taken down. So it's, if it catches us on a bad day, we'll migrate entirely off of YouTube and we'll do it somewhere else. It'll be crazy. But anyway.
Because guess who's looking into the infrastructure for that?
Yeah. So where we don't get ripped off constantly. All
right.
Anyway, when Clint can, I didn't mean to scream into the microphone like that.
Jesus.
When Clint can. We're wrapping up, folks.
We are.
We are. What are you doing? Start right here?
No.
Oh no. You point at that?
Read it.
You want me to put it up on screen?
No, honey.
No, I read it, yeah.
What's wrong with you?
What is wrong? What is wrong with me?
Okay, guys, we're gonna eat some dinner and we're gonna go to bed.
We're going to bed.
We have been just going 110 miles an hour for a few days now, and we're back at work too. So so there's that.
So if you are in the area, or you got a few vacation days, or you want to get out of town, McMinnville, Tennessee, baby.
August the 16th. At the Milner Recreation Center. It's going to be put on by 40 in Tennessee. Real cool dudes.
Yeah, those are our peeps.
And it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a blast. We know you guys will. We're going to hang out.
That is like literally, quite honestly, that's why we ended up doing Smoky Mountain, because we weren't going to do any this year. And our buddy 40 in Tennessee asked us to come back. And I was like, I just don't think we can do it, man. We really don't have the time. And he was like, that's okay. If anything changes, let me know. And then like a couple of weeks went by, and then we just got this very touching message from him, just asking, would you please reconsider? I'd really like to have you here, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, also you got Audio Ricky in the chat.
Who?
Audio Ricky.
Oh, right on. So, but it's, and we were just going, man, we love these dudes. So yeah, we agreed to do it. And then Smoky Mountain asked us afterwards, and we're like, all right, well, we're already doing Tennessee Wildman, but Tennessee Wildman's our jam, dude. That is a, you know, what's cool about it is you have a conference that is being put on by people who know how to put on a conference because they've done it with a wide variety of different like topics before. And then they're also cryptid investigators themselves, cryptid Bigfoot paranormal investigators themselves. So it's a great kind of blend of stuff to do. So anyway.
Very good.
So thank you all so much for everything tonight. We greatly appreciate you. And
I apologize for The Rock not attending. The Rock is kind of getting a little diva in its behavior. I know he was on the thumbnail, but he was supposed to be here on the third mic tonight, but the Rock's behavior is getting a little out the frame. So we're gonna hopefully Rock gets it together and eats a little humble pie, and then he can join us again. But the weekend kind of got his ego out the frame.
Little out of the pocket. So anyway, out of the pocket. We are done, y'all.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us for another Hellbent Live. We want to thank everybody that came to the conference. You guys rock, and we hope to see all of you that can come out to the Tennessee Wildman and Crypticon in McMinnville, August the 16th. And don't forget, we're less than 2 weeks away. August the 10th, the premiere of The Monster on Morris Mountain, Bigfoot and the Uwaris on Small Town Monsters YouTube channel. It is Sunday. It's a Sunday premiere. You better all be there.
All joking aside, this is what, come on, man. No, all joking aside, we need like a lot of support for this to show that there's like a real demand for like our style of weirdness out there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
We will be doing a live stream after right here from the Hellbent Studios.
Available for everybody,
where we can talk about the premiere. We can talk about the film. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. I'm super stoked about it. So put it on your calendar. Get it all together. Hide your wife, hide your kids. All right, guys, we're going to get some food and we're calling it a night. So as always, thank you. We love you. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Good night. From Hellbent Holler. Bye.